when we think of wide receivers, a lot of times, we say they're divas and they're showboats, but most people believe the greatest wide receiver in NFL history and perhaps the best player is Jerry Rice. And Jerry Rice was determined, was driven, was habit-based, and was unbelievable. And he is joining us via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network. Jerry, not only was your career legendary, but your workouts were really next level. You were doing off the field, running up those hills in the Bay. You were the first American athlete who we looked at his workouts and went, oh, he's different than everybody else. My feeling is your personality reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson, who told me yesterday he didn't get nervous for his first Super Bowl. He had so many habits. So I want you to go back to your first Super Bowl. I don't see you as
God.
I don't see you as a guy that would get nervous. Take me back to it. Were you?
Oh, man, I was so nervous.
Really?
I'm going to be honest with you because I think it really meant something to me. And plus, I stayed up all night long, and I tried to visualize opportunities that I would have during that football game. So I didn't get much sleep. The next morning is a long day. You get up, you have breakfast, you have meetings, then you have pregame meal, then you head over to the stadium. So I went over to the stadium, I put my uniform on, and I decided to relax on this table. And guess who fell asleep? I fell asleep, and I could hear my teammates come by, and they were like, what is going on with Jerry? This is Super Bowl 23, and he's asleep. But I had put all of that work in, and I was ready to play football. So I really got nervous.
That's funny. So it is interesting. Your personality, you were the perfect superstar. That you weren't showy. I mean, you wanted the ball, but, where does that come from? Your DNA has always been you're very driven, you're very serious, no messing around. I come to practice early, I leave it late.
Yeah.
Were you like that as a high schooler, a college, everywhere?
I think my DNA from my parents, about hard work and dedication. My father would take me to work with him during the summer. He was a bricklayer, and I had a tough job to do. And if I didn't do my job, he would discipline me in a certain way. And I think it was just that work ethic. And I was not the most gifted athlete, but I was going to outwork you. And I think it paid off, and I had longevity for over 20 years in the NFL.
Now you go, and you're a three-time Super Bowl champ. When you look back at your Super Bowls, do they all kind of do you remember each specifically? Or were they just, you've been in so many that they all kind of feel like the same?
No. Everything was different in every Super Bowl. And I was nervous before every Super Bowl.
Wow.
I want to make that point blank because I guess when something means so much to you, because you never know when you're going to get the opportunity to be back in that position again. So Super Bowl 23, then I remember Super Bowl 24 against the Denver Broncos, being able to catch the ball, bounce off those big safeties and get into the end zone.
Yeah.
Super Bowl 29 with Steve Young. Steve needed to get that monkey off his back because he wanted to go down as one of the best quarterbacks, so he needed to win a Super Bowl. So every one of those Super Bowls had a different meaning to me.
You played with, many people have compared Brady and Montana through the years because Steve is a little bit more of a runner initially, but he became a great pocket thrower, the lefty. He reminds me a little of Russell Wilson. He came into the league as a runner, developed into a really, really good passer. But when you see Brady, we always hear about how much pre-snap, how he changes the call at the line of scrimmage. Let's go back to Joe Montana. Did he just take Bill Walsh's call, or did Joe like to audible a lot too?
Well, Joe was the same way. He was in control on the football field. If he saw a defense and he needed to audible out, he knew he had the players on the outside to do that. And as a receiver, for me, I would come to the line of scrimmage, and I was just like a quarterback on the football field. I would see something, and I knew exactly what I had to do on that particular play. So, you can see similarities between Joe Montana and also Tom Brady.
What do you make of the emergence of the Julian Edelmans, the slot receiver? Yeah. It used to be, Jerry, that, the outside guy was the home run hitter. Well, now quickness means as much as speed because of slot receivers. Do you think your career would be different Cornerbacks couldn't touch Jerry Rice. They used to be able to. You could go slaughter outside. What do you make of the emergence of the wide receiver position?
Well, actually, that's really what I did. I played slot. I also played outside. And I think with the run-pass option now, it's a totally different ball game. You got to start looking at these slot receivers now and say that these guys are putting up numbers where maybe you have to look at them for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You look at Elliman. You look at Welker. You look at Amendola, all these guys. So, yeah, I moved all over the football field, and I was able to have a guy on the opposite side to compliment me. The Patriots, they talk about not having that go-to guy. Element is that go-to guy, and if you play him 5 yards off, he's gonna be able to defeat you and also catch the ball and keep the chains moving.
New England's been to a lot of these. The Rams haven't. Did you feel in your second and third Super Bowl it was an advantage having been in this game?
No, not at all. Not at all. If you get to the Super Bowl, you deserve to be here. And I like to reference this. Sometimes you got to be able to slay the dragon. And we know that with the Patriots, they have a lot of guys on that team that got the experience. In the Rams, they don't have that many guys. It's going to be up to Donald, also Sue, to try to get to Brady. And it's going to be up to that secondary to try to stop Gronk and also Elliman.
By the way, maybe it's a silly question, but I'm watching all your highlights here. You ever see your highlights? You're sitting home on TV, and you watch the highlights, and you think to yourself, damn, I was good. I was really, really good.
No, I look at myself, and I think I can always do something better. And I think that's the reason why I never got complacent. I continued to work. I wanted to be like the most conditioned athlete to ever play the game. And I wanted to start the game and finish the game the same way. And I think that's why I played it for over 20 years.
Yeah, I've seen your stats, Jerry. I'm not sure you could have been better. You're a very humble man. By the way, on behalf of Hennessy's, the world's preferred cognac, including Jerry's favorite, Hennessy XO, the world's first extra old cognac. Toast with your friends this Sunday. There it is right there. Jerry, you're one of the 6 or 7 greatest players in the history of the game. You still look like $1 million. And on behalf of Hennessy's Cognac, thank you.
Okay, hey, the thing about Hennessy is that there are so many varieties of cognac. And cognac is a brandy, and it's made in Cognac, France. And for over 250 years, they have celebrated this with their customers. It's that never stop, never settle attitude, and that's something I did in football. So this big game, I'll make sure I have, just Hennessy on the rocks or Hennessy XO, which is extra O, and you can go to Hennessy.com/US for the details.
The great Jerry Rice. Thanks, Jerry. Good talking to you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You bet. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.